a Boeing employee, when I did Laura's show the other night,
Mm-hmm.
he has called me and he has offered to get me whatever I want out of the Boeing archives. Now, why did Boeing lie to Dr. McDaniel? Why did the Public Affairs Office absolutely lie?
Who else would have them, Richard? What other avenues can you pursue?
Well, all right, the National Space Science Data Center, NASA has them. Kodak should have a set. The Smithsonian should have a set in Washington, all right?
Mm-hmm.
There are archives at Brown University which should have a set.
Have you been pursuing these other avenues?
Not really, because I didn't want to alert the guys that we were looking.
Mm-hmm.
We had to be very judicious. But let me go back to Hawaii, because Hawaii has a set. So Joe photographs this set, and it says 1 of 1, gives the dates when it was read out. You have to understand that the fact that this is real film we're talking about.
Right.
This is not an electronic image. This is actual film scanned in the spacecraft. When the spacecraft crashed on the moon, eventually, because of the lunar orbit perturbations,
right,
the film and the spacecraft were destroyed. That film is somewhere lying in a crater on the moon. But the electronic version of the film is back on Earth. Before Kodak sent the film in the spacecraft, it pre-exposed a pattern of little crosses, registration marks,
right,
which are used to correct out any geometric irregularities. This is where things get really interesting. On the photo we've been getting from Washington, the shard, the 1.5-mile tower cut off at the knees like the World Trade Tower lopped off in a nuclear war,
yes,
has one of these little registration marks right above it, sitting in the dark lunar sky, to the left of this glass cubicle tower complex located a few miles to the south. When I examined the photograph that Joe Gill sent me from the one in Hawaii, the little registration mark has moved to the south of the tower, 7 miles to the south on the image.
Good Lord, how can
And that is impossible. That can't happen. When you expose the image in the spacecraft, it was exposed indelibly relative to those registration marks. They can't move.